This doctor goes crazy and starts killing people, infecting them with fluids and turning them into zombies only to save his daughter's heart. The story begins with the scene of a science lab. Some lizards are shown and affected by some infection that keeps them alive, even after their bodies have been cut apart. We are introduced to Dr. Sang, who has almost killed another doctor and laid her down on the operation table. He is trying to test his medicine on the doctor named Si Yong, who is also revealed to be his daughter. He believed that his medicine can cure her, the one that he made from the DNA of lizards. Just when he tries to inject the medicine onto her, police arrives, along with an officer named Susie. They try to stop him from injecting the solution, but he has already gone crazy about testing his medicine and his experiments that he refuses to stop. He has already killed many people for the sake of his experiments. Since he refuses to stop, the police had to shoot him. Just then, an earthquake of high magnitude hits and the land starts shaking. They see the whole city turn into ruins through the window of the lab, and soon enough, the lab is demolished too. The whole world is destroyed. The story shifts to 3 years from now. A boy named Kim is out hunting in the ruins. He spots a crocodile, and as good of a shooter as he is, he shoots right at the crocodile's head, making the animal stop. Just when he goes near the crocodile, it suddenly wakes up and its eyes turn out like something of a reptile, like a lizard, proving that the animal was a part of Dr. Sang's experiment. Kim runs for his life and gets inside a car, but the crocodile catches up to him. Just then another hunter named Nam San gets there and kills the crocodile. Nam San was Kim's uncle. He was a boxer before the whole world turned into ruins. Kim and Nam San hunt in the ruins and sell them to survivors in exchange of something. We are introduced to So Na and her grandmother. No one from their family survived the earthquake, so Nam San used to help them. Kim also has a crush on So Na. Well, love in the ruins? Quite literally. So Na used to bring a drawing every time she would meet Nam San, and since he lost his daughter, he used to regard So Na like his own family. Just then, a gang of boys come searching for a man, but instead start hitting whoever they see. Their leader sees So Na and Eve teases her, pulls her hair and drags her. Kim comes to rescue, but all the boys surround him and start hitting him. Nam San then comes to help Kim and beats the hell out of them alone. He gets to know that the boys work for someone named Tiger, and he seems to know the man. Nam San tells the boys his name, after which they run away terrified. Nam San gets a bottle of clean water from one of them. Turns out the boy got this bottle from an apartment that survived the earthquake. In the evening, some people are here to talk with So Na to take her and provide her education. They believe that people like So Na are the ones who will be leading the next generation, so preparing beforehand is necessary. There is a woman among the group who introduces herself as a teacher. She tells them that there is a building where they have apartments in which they are recruiting young people for education. They have ample amount of resources like clean water and food. Also, they will provide an apartment and resources to the parents of the children. So Na's grandmother is happy, but So Na disagrees, saying that her grandmother will not be able to walk that far. The teacher then tells her that they have also set up a healthcare camp. Nam San asks them that if that's the only building with ample resources, gangsters must be trying to occupy it, to which the teacher replies that the building is protected by ex-military officers, so they don't have to worry about protection. So Na wants to take Nam San and Kim with her, but the teacher says the plan only covers the real family, so they leave with Nam San and Kim. Later that night, Kim asks Nam San about his daughter and So Na, but Nam San leaves immediately for hunting without any word further. Meanwhile, So Na has also made a friend named Joy, and there are many other people in the apartments. Her grandmother's condition worsens since she was walking for hours, so the teacher sends her off to the healthcare center. Kim and Nam San go out for hunting, and on the other hand, we see the people heading for apartments. Some vehicles are there to pick them up, and ex-military officers, including Major M, come out to them. So Na questions the teacher about making her grandmother walk to healthcare center when she could easily help her with vehicles, to which the teacher replies that since they lack communication measures, she couldn't contact the vehicles. Instead, she will help her grandmother by sending a car the next day to pick her up. So Na notices a mark of Major M's neck, the same mark that we saw in the lizards in the beginning. On the other hand, So Na's grandmother and another elderly man who were supposed to be taken to the healthcare camp were actually taken to be killed by the officers. They kill the man, and when they kill So Na's grandmother, Kim sees them. Nam San and Kim get there and try to kill the officers. However, it seems impossible to do so even if they directly attack the officers. Just then, a girl helps Kim when an officer tries to attack him. She is as skilled as Namsan. Namsan manages to kill the officers by cutting off their heads, and then Kim and Namsan bury the grandmother in a good place and offer their prayers. Kim is getting worried about Sona, and on the other hand, Sona has already reached the education camp by morning. The girl who helped Namsan and Kim introduces herself as Major E. She opens up about the truth of the apartments, saying that it's all a system that traps young people. She wants to help the children trapped there. She tells them she was here to ask for help from Namsan. She used to work in the Air Force Special Unit, and they were the one who found the apartment, and since they got access to clean water and resources, they started living there. One day, a man named Dr. Sang arrived. Since he was the only doctor left after the apocalypse, they took him in, but things got weird pretty much later. Major E had her suspicions about Dr. Sang. She asked him why the children who he cured acted weird after he gave them medicines. Major M comes down to the place. Dr. Sang asks him to give her the reason, and it is revealed that Major M is with Dr. Sang already. He starts killing another officer present there. Major E gets into an argument with Major M, but just then the other man gets up from dead. It is revealed to her that all this happened because of Dr. Sang's medicines. Dr. San is our last hope, and a new world is to be created where humans will live better than before. But Major E didn't want to support them in this mission, so she runs away from there. She tells that human beings change in creation from San's key experiment, so it is difficult to kill them and they can only die by hitting the head. The rest of the people reach the apartments where Dr. San gives everyone a word and everyone is given clean water to drink. Sona was still worried about her grandmother, after which she goes to her apartment where everything resources were given. Here Major E explains the plan to Namsan and Kim. She tells that the security of the apartment is very tight. Some snipers will kill them as soon as they see them, so they will have to find another way. Along with that, they also needed weapons for this work. Major E wanted them to help her to get rid of the enemies. Along with Major E, many officers were trapped in the basement of the apartment. Namsan needed weapons to start. On the other hand, Tiger sat with his opponent Pomgi. He was making people fight and was involved in gambling. His opponent used to work for him first, but now he wanted to kill Tiger by making his own gang, which is why the battle between them begins and they start killing each other. Namsan, Kim and he also reach there, and Namsan asks for help from Tiger, but Tiger's old share with Namsan was left, so they attack them, but none of them was able to take in front of these three because Kim and Namsan were hunters and he was also a fighter, while Major E was also an ex-military soldier. That's why these three beat up the whole gang and everyone starts running away from them. Namsan hits Tiger so hard that he gets used to his fear. On the other hand, in the apartment, Sona is still worried about her grandma, which the teacher lies to her that grandma will reach here in the evening, but Sona was not feeling well here. After that she takes them to the classroom, but there was also a condition here in which parents can only meet their children at the meeting and all the children will be on floor number 8 where no one else was allowed to go. Sona also raises questions on this condition, but the teacher tells her quietly that she told the same condition to her grandma. The parents do the work of water filtration all day at the center. Namsan had found his weapon, but he still did not know how Tiger got the clean water, so he asks the same question one by one and he makes them unconscious when they don't answer. Tiger was very scared of Namsan, so he tells him that they deal with the apartment people, they bring them a person and in return they give them clean water and food, but first they give it to any age person, but now they demand to bring in people in between 10 to 20 years age group. That day his men had come to pick up Sona in the market. They deliver people in exchange of resources and they can't even go inside without permission. Here the doctor was taking an update on the new children, after which the teacher is getting Sona and Joy to be introduced to the class, where Sona was worried about the rest of the children because they were not giving any reaction. It seems like they have become zombies, and behind their ears there was a sign like someone had put a cut there. In fact, many of them were bandages, which looked very strange to Sona. On top of that, the teacher and every human being present there were only praising about Dr. Sang, and she was not even told about her grandmother's whereabouts. They were given special food and water which was especially for them. The teacher wanted the children to finish the food completely. Dr. San comes in a while and he also tells him to finish the food and water completely. But Sona also asks the same question and asks about her grandmother, which he tells her that her grandmother is in a bad condition but she doesn't need to worry. Doctor is treating her grandmother. Son opens the bottle of water and tells her to drink the water, but Sona doesn't do that. Joy goes to help Dr. Son. That's why he takes her to Son's lab. Later we see him talking to someone in the lab. Sona didn't sleep here at night. In fact, she wanted to see what is going on here. That's why she goes out secretly at night. Here a couple wanted to meet their daughter, but one after the other they were keeping a rule, which was not told to the parents. Teacher and Major M come to take Dr. Son. Sona also looks at them and hides. After he leaves, she goes to Dr. Son's lab, where she sees everything from his research book. This man takes out a fluid or something from the young people's body which he and his men inject and live. And in the same way he was doing it with Choi. Dr. Son takes Choi's parents to his lab where he had started an experiment on Choi. His parents are very scared to see their daughter like this. Son shows them his daughter, whom he had kept in a water container to fix. And somehow he was running his heart. Choi's parents are scared to see all this, and try to pick up their daughter, because of which Choi's death happens. But now those people were aware of Dr. Son's intentions. So Son and Major M kill them too. While all this happened, Sona saw from her eyes, but she hid quietly at one place. But Son finds her, and now he decides to experiment on her. Nam-san and others come to the apartment with Tiger, but the guards attack them. So he takes the truck directly inside the center, breaking the guard line, starts a fierce fight. Major M calls everyone to stop those people but instructs them to not stop Major E from coming to the lab because there was a surprise for her. Nam-san and his team were running around, fighting fiercely, and they were not leaving any soldier alive. In the same lab, Son also starts his experiment, and he tells that there is a special gland in the body of young people which cannot be used directly. That is why he mixes chemicals in the water he gives the children. The children become a part of his experiment, but Sona did not tell him that she did not drink water. Then the teacher also comes there and tells Son about theft in the building. On the other hand, Major E also goes to the base with Nam-san and Kim where no one stopped her from going. The people who were humans before had changed completely to the creatures, so they attacked them. Nam-san, Kim and Major E kill them and move forward, after which more soldiers were coming there. But then Nam-san asks Kim and Major E to go up and competes alone with those soldiers. He kills everyone. Kim and E were also fighting, where he sends Kim ahead where she also comes in face to face with Major M. Nam-san finds the parents and tells them to find their children and escape. He then moves on to search Sona. Meanwhile, Major E and Major M also start fighting, where Major E attacks with a knife in the eyes of the M but he does not die. In fact, his face skin goes down, and under his eyes and skin, the skin of a snake comes out. That is the most special part of Son's experiment. E could not win in this fight. That is why Major M hits her a lot and then throws her out, which makes E unconscious. Kim also reaches to the class while searching for Sona where he tells the teacher to go with him. But again in front of him is Major M. But then Nam-san also came there, so he sends Kim to find Sona, and starts fighting with M himself. Dr. Son, on the other hand, has made a dose out of Sona's glands, and injects it in himself, but Sona was still conscious. She tells him that she did not drink the water, and then Son's condition also starts to deteriorate because this dose had become deadly for him. Then Kim also reaches there, but a soldier who was standing there attacks him, after which they put Son's daughter in a bag and try to escape from there. Meanwhile, Major M and Nam-san fight a lot, but at the end Nam-san kills Major M. Son runs away from there and leaves after throwing a grenade inside the room. Kim and Sona were there. He also leaves the teacher to die, but Kim somehow manages to make Sona's stretcher a shield to escape from the class. Nam-san also kills the soldier outside and finds Kim and Sona in the fire. Major E also wakes up from the sound of the blast. Dr. Son takes his daughter and tries to escape, but the parents of the children attack him because he was responsible for the bad condition of their children. Dr. Sang starts shooting aimlessly and unknowingly he also shoots at the suitcase his daughter was in, because of which his daughter's heart stops beating. Dr. Son's condition was very bad, but still he keeps shooting bullets, because he wanted to stop Nam-san. But then Sona comes there, and Dr. Son realizes his mistake. Dr. Son also realizes that he has lost, but still, he tries to kill Sona. Nam-san manages to kill him. Everyone is filled with happiness after Dr. Sang's death, after which the major thanks Nam-san. And then she stays in this apartment to take care of people. Nam-san, Kim and Sona go back to their house, where in secret, Sona cries a lot on her grandmother's grave. But after that she stays with Nam-san and Kim, and our story ends there.